Hi, I'm Hugh McKenna from Asgard Athletics. This week we're going to be going over one of my favorite exercises. It's the Turkish Get-Up. I do the Turkish Get-Up a little differently because I use a sandbag rather than the traditional like kettlebell or dumbbell exercise where you're holding it straight out above your shoulder and you're stabilizing the weight with a locked out arm. I like this version a little better because it translates more readily into grappling arts and into MMA, where you have the person's body weight on your torso or your shoulder and you have to sit up with that person on top of you rather than with a locked out arm. So this also allows me to load the weight a lot heavier than I can with a dumbbell or kettlebell because it's really limited by my grip and by the strength of the smaller muscles in my arms, rather than loading a heavier sandbag onto my torso and sitting up with that. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to lay down on my back. I'm going to load the sandbag onto my shoulder. So I'm going to hug it nice and tight to my torso. Whichever side has the sandbag, that knee is going to be up and the foot's going to be flat on the floor, close to your butt. The other leg is going to be up, toes are pointed to the ceiling. Now I'm going to sit up to the opposite arm. So if I have the sandbag on my right, I'm going to sit up to my left elbow first. And initially I'm going to piecemeal this, but as I do the real reps, I'm going to flow through each checkpoint. So the first checkpoint is I'm going to sit up and I'm going to drive up to my elbow here. When you do this, a common mistake is people let their foot come off the ground like that. Press this foot and this heel into the floor and sit up to your elbow. Then you're going to sit all the way up to your hand here. You're going to press into this foot and this hand, and you're going to free your bottom leg and hips like this. Drive your hips as high as you can get them. Then this leg is going to come out and it's going to be directly under your shoulder here. Then you're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to straighten out your leg and you're going to stand up. So you're halfway done with the rep now. Now you're going to go back down the same way that you got up. So you're going to kneel down. You're going to turn your foot. You're going to put your hand down. Then you're going to press into your hand and your foot. You're going to free your weight and you're going to sit through. Then from here, you're going to go back down to your elbow and then all the way back down to laying. So one more time. I sit up to my elbow, sit up to my hand, I press my hips, leg comes back, sit up nice and tall, pivot the foot, and stand up. Then I kneel down, I twist the foot, I put the hand on the floor. I don't just sit down here, I pressure so that my bottom half is free. I sit all the way through. Then I sit down, nice and tall torso, down to my elbow, and down to my back. So I come up. So once again, that's the Turkish Get-Up. It's one of my favorite exercises to do, especially the sandbag variation, because it allows you to work that hip mobility, that flexibility, that strength through a really large range of motion. And it's a huge motion coming all the way from the floor to standing and then back down to the floor again. So it's a full body workout. You're maintaining that weight on your shoulder and your arms, and then you're using your legs to get up, as well as a lot of core muscles to go through the motion. So give the Turkish Get-Up a try. It's a great tool to add to your arsenal, and it allows you to build real applicable strength that you can translate directly into your sport, especially if you're a grappler. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my page, like the video, and leave a comment if you can. Anything can help. Thanks.